Hello, Group Tanzanite. My name is Missy from Missy's Essential Tarot. I am also from Kiss My Astrology here on YouTube. So if you are into astrology as much as you're into tarot and runes and all that kind of stuff, you'll want to follow me there. Subscribe to that channel. The link either in the description or somewhere in this video. For those who know me from Facebook and those who don't, I will periodically do free personal mini reads through live readings where I plan on going live here in YouTube. As I said, I've been on Facebook for the past 4 years. I'm just now starting on YouTube, so this is a new channel, but if I do go live for those free mini readings, you will only get the notification for that on my business page on Facebook. And so the only way for you to participate in that is to follow me on Facebook so that you can receive those notifications and submit your request to participate in the mini reads. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to pull some cards. I may or may not pull some charms. It just depends on how long the reading goes or how I feel. But yeah, this is going to be a general reading that is timeless in nature. If the details fit or resonate for your story, it is meant for you. But if they do not, please do not try to make them fit. That will do more harm than good and is definitely not my intention with these readings. If you hear me call out a specific sign, but you don't know who it is, again, don't try to make it fit. However, if I call out a specific sign and you're like, hey, that's me, or hey, that's my person, that's a confirmation for you that this is your reading. If I say things like woman, man, male, female, she, he, it's just energy. And I'm just simply going by what is depicted on the cards. I read the cards intuitively. I do not read them based on the traditional meaning. However, I do incorporate the traditional meaning into the reading where it applies. I read my cards based on the imagery first, and I let the story speak to me in that way. So if there's a woman on the card, I'm going to say the word woman. And I do not mean that to be offensive to anyone in any way. It's simply energy. All humans carry a balance of masculine and feminine, whether we like it or not. Okay. So if you can take a minute to breathe with me, think about your question or your situation. First, I want to talk about Tanzanite. So Tanzanite, for me in particular, not even going by what the card itself talks about, just for me personally, Tanzanite is always a spirit stone, meaning that this is a connection stone to your angels, to the ancestors, to your spirit guides, to, your starseed family, if that's how you resonate. Tanzanite is the stone one of the stones, I should say, that you want to use to work with that. And again, just in terms of let's explain how to use crystals a little bit here for a minute, since I'm talking about that. But I'm not going to go too in depth with that. There are different types of stones that can be used for different types of spiritual work. So where Tanzanite is particularly good in terms of contacting your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, a stone such as sodalite would be very good for opening your third eye if you are new to this whole spiritual practice and want to learn how to do your own readings, how to scry your own crystal, how to have your own visions or to meditate or whatever, then sodalite would be the crystal that you would use. But if you're a little bit more experienced and you are now trying to work with spirits, Tanzanite is definitely what you want to go to. A lot of people say moldavite. No, moldavite is actually about healing. There's a big misconception with that. And a lot of people try to, God, I don't mean to be offensive when I say that, but there's something that's happening in the spiritual world where there's a little bit of a fad going on. And so, again, a lot of times with these fads, there can be little sound bites or memes of information that don't give you the whole story. And so I find that to be a little bit of a problem sometimes. Not that I'm trying to put anybody down who is distributing this information. It's just that sometimes if you're just giving a soundbite or a quick meme, a quick clip of something, and you're not giving the whole story, then people can kind of run with it. And we saw that happen with Moldavite recently, especially on TikTok, where people were trying to say that they got a piece of Moldavite and then their life completely fell apart. Well, you can't blame the stone for that. Okay. That just means that there was something in your life that was getting ready to fall apart anyway, and you needed to heal from it. And that's what Moldavite did for you, because Moldavite is a healing stone. You can never discount the color of a stone when you're trying to look at its properties and how to use it and how the best proper way to use it. So, where it's kind of the same thing where I read the cards based on the images first and then based on what the traditional meanings are. You have to use the stones in the same way, in my opinion. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I do have a lot of experience behind what I'm saying. And in my opinion, Moldavite is a healing stone before it is a contact stone. You must heal before you are pure enough. And when I say pure enough, I'm talking about your energy. If you go into contact with the spirit realm and your energy is toxic or lower vibrational during that contact, you could be connecting with something that you may not know how to handle. So you have to heal those energies and that aura before you can ascend to this level, right? And it's not to say that one is better than the other, one is higher, one is, positioned better, higher, whatever. Everybody is equal in the spiritual world. It just depends on how much experience and work you've put in that will determine how you are able to utilize certain stones. So now I'm going to get to my soapbox about the stones, but I do want to reiterate a little bit of what I was saying about Tanzanite in terms of being a contact stone. When I see Tanzanite, I feel a very spiritual energy that comes from it. So whoever chose this reading, there's something very spiritual happening with you. Maybe you've been trying to contact your angels, your ancestors, and let's just see where this is going. Okay. Maybe you are trying to do it and you just need a little bit of help, a little bit of tweaking to help you get past this one threshold or something. So, maybe that's the reason that I felt the need to explain the difference between Tanzanite as opposed to like sodalite, or, even sapphire is a really good stone for psychic abilities and psychic powers. Sapphire is an excellent stone for clairvoyance. But it's different from sodalite in that sodalite will open your third eye and sapphire will help you to connect. But then sapphire, where it connects in terms of clairvoyance, is different than Tanzanite, where it connects in terms of spirit, ancestor, and angel. So there is a difference there, and that may be something that can help to answer a question or to help you out in terms of whatever it is that you're trying to do here with this spiritual energy that's coming through. Okay, so now let me go ahead and shuffle and we'll see what's going on. Yeah. All right. Actually, one more. I really feel like I needed to clear that. Okay. So this is the TV series Tarot. Each one of the cards is going to correspond to either a movie, television, something, and pop culture. One of my favorite decks. So right off the bat, we've got the Ten of Cups with the Addams family. I have to say the Addams family is probably one of my favorite Ten of Cups ever. And it's just simply because, they were just so different. I love the unique, and the love between Morticia and I can't remember his name, but anyway, yeah, just a very unique family, but full of love, very positive energy to start off with. Oh, and look, you got the lovers on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. All right. Hold up, though. Look at that. Oh. So it starts off good. And then we've got this energy that comes out. And I feel, okay, so this is Sherlock, right? I think that's the name of the show with Benedict Cumberbatch, right? Is that his name? Anyway. Is it Sherlock? Yeah, where he's the detective. Anyway, I feel like someone is reevaluating a relationship. Look at this energy. I apologize for that. Look at this. That looks like whatever this relationship was, that looks bloody. It looks like there was betrayal, sneakiness. This is Dexter right here, by the way. And I can't remember which show this is. It might be Star Trek, but I don't think so. Anyway, so someone is looking over a relationship that started off good. Literally, it started off good. Maybe you guys were different or weird in some way. There was something that kind of, because the thing about the Addams family is they were very different from the rest of the neighborhood, right? Kind of like the Munsters too. And the rest of the neighborhood saw them as creepy and scary and all these things, right? But there's still love there. You can't get over that there's still love there. And the Ten of Cups itself is a card of, the ultimate happy family. But then you got this. There's this energy of like, I'm trying to investigate what went wrong. Is that why you're trying to contact your ancestors? Are you trying to heal, maybe? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, look, you got strength and then the Four of Swords. So you are trying, and then you got the, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to pull some others. I'm not going to just go with these. We're going to pull some others, but I do feel like this is like, it's literally trying to heal, trying to move on from a situation that you thought. Look at, you got the Ace of Cups, and in this deck, this Ace of Cups to me always looks like it's crying, even though the Ace of Cups traditionally in tarot talks about new love, right? Or love that has potential to grow. This one in particular doesn't look happy. It actually looks sad. It looks like that, because of that eyeball in the background and the water is spilling out of that cup. It looks like there's somebody crying. It looks like a feminine eye to me, and it looks like she's crying. So, this is also coming under this Page of Pentacles, which is he's investigating, he's inspecting this pentacle there. He's looking very closely at why she's crying. So something's happening, something very spiritual is happening. You got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, but then look at, this is depicting Game of Thrones, where this dude, God, the Frost King, not the Frost King, what is his name? Anyway, the scary dude from, when they're on the wall, the dude that the Wildings is always trying to warn everybody about. He's come in and he's like, he's created this wheel of fortune out of body parts, right? So, and then I don't know, I just feel like it just needs to fit right here, because look at how clearly it fits in with this image of Dexter. Dexter, if you remember that show, he thinks he's a vigilante. He goes in and he murders people because he thinks they're bad guys, right? They've been accused of crimes and they somehow get away with it. So he feels like he has to take the law into his own hands. And this is how he's going to create his fortune, right? So there's something here where I don't know. I feel like there's a new perspective that needs to be had or something. I don't know. Like that maybe I feel like whoever this person is in the middle, like they're the ones who destroyed it, but they're trying to say somebody else did. It's like this wheel or whatever this fortune is has been created by the body parts or the deaths of all of these other people. And you do have betrayal with the 10 of Wands. So again, this could be, you know, it started out so good. Someone's doing some serious shadow work, trying to reach out to their ancestors, angels, and guides, asking questions like, why? I don't understand. This relationship looked so healthy, so good when it started. But then now, like, look at all of this massacre that's been left over and these tears and betrayal. And I can't figure this out. What the fuck? What the fuck? Right? Help me. I feel like that's what this is saying. We're not going to take this pile. We do have the 9 of Pentacles coming out underneath the 10 of Swords. So this is the show Weeds. If anybody watched that show on Showtime, like the only way she had to she became a drug dealer in order to provide for her family, right? So there's this sort of like underground, seedy, betrayal, lying almost aspect happening here anyway, where maybe this relationship looked so happy, healthy, successful because it was built on some sort of seedy, deceptive energy, deceptive betrayal energy. And that's what you're now discovering, like, oh, now that I'm looking back on it and I'm doing all of this shadow work, like, oh my God, I should have seen the signs. I should have seen the signs. You've got the Fool on the bottom of the deck. And I'm sorry, but this one, it depicts mask. Okay. And so, you know, if you think about Jim Carrey and the character of Mask, he was kind of foolish, brash, whatever, you know, and so maybe you might be feeling a little foolish because of this relationship and this energy. But now we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the 6 of Cups, the Judgment, the 10 of Wands, which looks like someone bringing a gift, right? So it's all positive energy on the bottom of the deck now, which is interesting because all of this feels toxic. So maybe you wanted this, like you were a fool thinking this was the foundation. I feel like that might be what it's saying, you know, because really in reality, the love that you were trying to give was more of a burden for you than it was a gift for them or something. Yeah. We've got Justice. Like, okay, so let's get some more cards and see a little bit, like, what else are they trying to say here? What is the message that they're trying to get across, or the advice or something? Actually, I feel like I need to shuffle over. So sitting at the center right now, because I'm going to do a 9-card spread, this would put the Wheel of Fortune at the center, which is fate. You know, and fate usually happens after some sort of decision, action, something has been made, right? Like it's our own hand that turns the wheel of fate. Although sometimes it's, you know, there are things that are beyond our control, meaning that it is the hand of someone else that turns our wheel of fate. However, you know, that will only last for so long. Like so typically if you look at like the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, you would see all 4 of this. Well, it's depicted here with the different houses from Game of Thrones, but this would be the fixed signs: Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, right? And so, you know, each have their own spot on the wheel at the four, you know, at the crossroads, right? At each of the four compass points of the wheel. And so they can only be on top one at a time. If the wheel is spinning, that means it will go from Leo being on top to Aquarius to Scorpio to Taurus. Like there can't be just one person on top all the time. So even if there are things that are outside of your control where, you know, the other person has manipulated you and they are sitting at the top of the wheel in this moment, that can only last for so long before they get over here and they have to either jump off or they fall off, right? Or they can hang on for dear life as they're going around the bottom, and you know, gravity is going to be trying to pull them down because they're at the bottom of the wheel. But at some point, they're going to come back up to the top too, because the wheel is always in motion. And I have to point out as well, we do have the Seven of Wands that has shown up on the bottom of the deck multiple times now when I've been shuffling, and this is very defensive energy, but it's also energy. If you notice, she's got the upper hand, or she has the higher ground here. This is the opposing, the people or the forces or the whatever that's coming to oppose her, and she's still here able to fight them off. She still has the upper hand. She's able to maintain that higher ground. So even though it's defensive energy, it's still positive. But let's get some more. Let's get some more cards going on here. There's some more information. All right. I don't know. I kind of feel like I fumbled that one, but let me look at them and see. I actually feel like I fumbled that, and that's why they fill out. So let me shuffle one more time and keep going. So this next row, typically in a 9-card spread, each row and column would have a different meaning, right? So if we're going to look at the columns, the left-hand column would represent the past, the center column would represent the present, and the right-hand column would represent the future, or the, you know, what's coming next. Whereas the top row represents what's on your mind or what it is that you are thinking about. The middle row represents, you know, what is happening right now in your material world, in the, you know, what the current situation is basically in the present time. And then this bottom row now is going to be what you have control over or what you can change, so this is going to be where our advice is going to come in. Now, if it falls in this position, it's going to be what you had control over in the past, or the control that you might have that is slipping away right now in terms of what's coming into the present. And then this would be the immediate future. Okay. Yeah. Hold on, let me see how many that is. 6, 8, that's too many. Great. One more. Okay, so interesting. That's one of the cards that tried to come out before. So it was meant to come out. All right. So in terms of what you can control in the immediate past or the energy that's possibly leaving, your situation, or where, the control that you have that is dissipating at this point, is really, I got to be honest, this is the World card. It's an ending. So maybe in the past you ended something. I have to be honest, I do feel like with this particular card, just reading it intuitively, it feels like you didn't have control, like you really didn't have, something ended, and the only control that you had was the memory of it, literally the memory of it, which totally is in line with the rest of this. I'm trying to investigate why she's so sad and ended the situation, maybe, or why if it's not a she, I apologize for that. Again, like I said, it's just expediency for the reading. I'm investigating why my person is so sad and left, right, or ended things. Now in the present, what you have control over in this moment is your fear, your worry. This particular card is one of the CSI. That's what it depicts as one of the CSI shows, which just is so funny to me because, again, you've got this sort of investigative nature over here. Like, he's a detective. You've got Dexter, who works he's like he works in the forensics department of the police or sheriff or something. And then you've got this whole Game of Thrones where, this dude creates his fate by manipulating and, ripping other people apart. And so now you have another investigative or detective type of depiction here with CSI, right? Crime scene investigation. I'm literally like looking over all of the massacre that's happened. So the only thing that you can do in this moment is control your fear and your emotions while you do this healing work. Okay. And it's because you have the 9 of Wands it's the final card in this 9-card spread, which is what you're going to have control over in the future, but also what the outcome is. So this card is twofold. And I love this particular 9 of Wands because it depicts perfectly what the 9 of Wands is about. Because as you can see, you've got a soldier here, he's holding the line, and these are the reinforcements coming up over the ridge, right? This card is about like, don't give up, hold the line. You're doing great. You're almost there. You only have one step left before you get to the 10 of Wands, which is the end. It's where you can put the burden down. And that's what these reinforcements are coming in to do. They're coming in to relieve you of your duty so that you can put this wand down and you don't have to hold the line anymore, right? You can now go and rest and heal. And so this is like Chiron energy that's coming through. And then look, we do have the Knight of Pentacles again on the bottom of the deck. And look at the sunrise in the background to me. Look at that, just is like beautiful. But he's also this is Walker, Texas Ranger, by the way. And he's bringing something tangible. I can't get over, like, what's so weird about this reading? There's a lot of like, detective legal stuff going on. I don't know, maybe somebody here is attached in some way to like the legal field, whether that's actual law enforcement, maybe military, or you are like a paralegal, or you work in a lawyer's office or something. There's something, or maybe you're just like a psychologist who's trying to do, because that can be detective work as well, trying to figure out, it doesn't have to be law enforcement attached to this, because like I say, just doing healing work is detective work in and of itself. But again, we have more law enforcement energy with Walker, Texas Ranger, but he's bringing something tangible. And then look, the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands right underneath that, with the Three of Wands and the Eight of Wands, and then the Six of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Look at all this positive energy. You've got the Nine of Wands, but then the Queen of Cups. So out of all these cards, only one of these is what I would call a somewhat negative card, and that's talking about worry, stress and worry. So this is literally the outcome, and this was what's now left on the bottom of the deck after we get to the outcome, which is all positive, and that comes after the healing. So I hope this helps. What you have control over is your own healing. Try not to allow the fear, worry, and whatever get to you, and try not to get too obsessed in trying to figure out what happened and what went wrong. I feel like you just need to move forward from here because it's all positive in the future. And if there is some sort of law enforcement aspect attached to this, like if you're reading this and you're like, hey, I do have a legal situation going on in the background, it may not be about like blood and death or anything like that, but it could be some sort of legal situation. I feel like whatever the outcome is it's going to be definitely positive. Look at that sunrise in the background. I cannot get over the coloring here. Whatever it is, something goes in your favor if there is some sort of legal issue attached to this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. I hope that helps. And I will see you next time.